Okay. Wow. Good morning, all my peoples out there, my chat tribe out there. Love you guys. Greetings. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you guys are new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. How are you guys doing this morning? It's Friday. The energy right now, I'm on mid energy. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was just scrambling to get everything together for you guys this morning. And yeah, I got a few things I want to talk to you guys about. I'm hoping that you guys got a chance to. I dropped 2 new videos, so after this is all over, you guys can go check it out. I dropped one video on white privilege, and I dropped another one on Diddy. So, we like to have these conversations, whether it's live or just putting up videos. So check those out after this live is up. And yeah, today we're just gonna go through it, and we're just gonna take our time and get through this whole thing. I got this thing all in the middle of my neck, but I'm hoping you guys can hear me good. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying your morning and ready to go, because this is the type of energy that's gonna take us into the weekend. So we gotta keep our spirit up, man. There's a lot of things going on that can bring you down, so I'm here to lift you guys up. Just give me a little second. Let me get my little sippy sip. Today's episode is brought to you by Inspired by Dreams Clothing. And if you guys want to check out the brand, it's inspiredbydreams.shop, and that's dreams with 3 Z's. Go check it out, man. We got a lot of dope stuff. We're running out when it comes to colors, and the hoodies go quick. When it comes to the hoodies and the colors, if you have a favorite color, you make sure you get on that today and get it out of there, because a lot of people love the same colors. Everybody has a different meaning for the same color. So yeah. Okay. So what we're hearing, the biggest news, the hot topics right now is like the Diddy and the debate. So they're kind of like running hand in hand, and let's just stay on the Diddy real quick. So Diddy, what everybody really wants to know right now is that the whole video collection. They said they had a video collection, and I'm seeing it 50-50. If you guys check out the video that I dropped this morning, you guys will get to see 2 different points of views on this whole Diddy situation. On one hand, you have people saying that he is guilty for what he has done. On the other hand, you have people saying that the charges are too much, and they don't even know what charges have been put on yet. But just from what people are hearing, the whole life sentence, people are feeling like that is a little too much for that type of person. But what people don't understand is the crime and the crimes that were committed, those charges carry a lot of time. And for those who don't know, federal, you're not gonna, with the feds, you're not gonna do 1-2 years like that. I'm not sure if you can do that amount, but I'm pretty sure that's rare when it comes down to the feds. Usually when you're dealing with the feds, they're pulling RICOs on people. They're throwing people away for years and years to come. So everybody's just eyes open, and I showed in the video that I dropped that just his sons going to the court was just saddening within itself. And I could just imagine I put the sons, and I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I put the sons in the victims, you could say in the victims corner as well, because they're seeing something through their lens, and they're seeing the repercussions of it. So how they take this from this point on is going to steer their life. So that's it. It's just the whole situation with the Diddy. I knew it wasn't going to be just a straight road. It was going to be a bumpy ride. And when we got to this point where the information and things, the more things that come out, that's the things that really crush people it's the eye openers that makes people say, wow, I cannot believe. So hey, what could we do, man? What could we do? The only thing you can do at this point is pray, and I'm hoping that man, scratched out his addiction. They said they found ecstasy and a whole bunch of stuff in the house before he had, I guess when they went to pick him up. But you got to think about it. When you're on all these drugs and things like that, it alter your mind. You're not really you're so used to numbing yourself from the drugs. It's kind of like you have a altered way about going about your problems. And you can never, it's just like if you always take Tylenol when you have a headache, eventually it's going to kill you. And I'm not saying that Tylenol kills you, so don't take it like that. But what I'm trying to say, too much of anything can kill you. They say 85 bars of chocolate, if you eat it, it could kill you. So it's just like that. And I feel like his mind is not really in the mind to even fight for himself. Yeah, you put these lawyers in front of you, but at the same time, are you realizing the harm that you did to these people? If he had reconnected with the people that he did this harm to and tried to outside of himself, just try to get back to a place that could be more safer and more comforting for these people, this would have probably not went this way. But the way he chose to go about it is, I can get through this, I can pay this off. And in certain situations when you think you can pay it off, you can't, because you cannot go around hurting queens like that and just think that, because they don't have the loudest voice, that you're not going to get yourself in trouble. So I'm waiting to see how it goes, because it's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a fight. I see that he has, he has a lot of money. He has big time lawyers. The last time we know Diddy got a lawyer was Johnny Cochran. He's passed away, but he's gonna get the biggest lawyers to fight the littlest people, and it's sad, but I'm just hoping the best for everybody, and that's including the victims, And I keep people, just because we don't know their names. Like I told you guys, there's two new victims that just came out, and they're willing to take the stand. So in other words, what they're willing to do is show their face. They're willing to step in front of the people and let people know that there's two new victims. So that's one thing we have to look out coming towards. It might just be on the weekend. Because usually if they're smart, then they drop things on the weekend, and you give yourself a little space before you get to the Monday. So it gives you a little break on social media when you let yourself drop whatever you have to say on a Friday, and then you disappear till Monday. But I feel like those two victims are going to be celebrities or somebody that we didn't expect that Diddy did something to. So what's up, y'all? Buzzville, USA. This is the gay pride hat. No, it's not a gay pride hat, but it's a dope Yankee hat. I just like the work on it. I like the different colors. It was just really dope. Just putting together the things that I have, and I just put, throw things around and just try to match colors. I was really trying to pull something off with this. This is kind of like an oversized long sleeve, and I don't really wear it that much, but I said I'm gonna tuck it under something just to get the color out of it, and I'll pull that color and match it. So I hope it kind of goes together. So that's what I'm just doing this morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Much love, much love. Love you guys, love you guys. Did you guys hear about, I know people I don't know what other people, but I consider Justin Bieber, he's one of the cooler people, and I consider him close to hip hop. He was very, he had a lot of things going in hip hop, and everybody liked Justin Bieber. He's a cool dude. And I'm seeing now a lot of people are realizing Justin, like with this whole Diddy situation going on, it's hurting him. And people don't realize that it's hurting him. Not only did he make a song about it, but he's time and time and again been telling people about his addictions and the things he's been going through. And I feel like it doesn't matter what color you are, whatever struggle you're going through, somebody should kind of give like a little better reach out for him. Because at this point, I know Diddy has something to do with some of that hurt that Justin Bieber is going through. But maybe he just doesn't feel like coming out with it on social media, because everybody's going to be down his neck for interviews and things like that. And that can be stressful. Even with anxiety, that can be stressful. But I do want to send some healing energy out to Justin Bieber, because I know it's something behind the scenes that he's been through a lot, especially as a young star coming in this. Come on now. He's been through, and around those guys at that time, you just got to pray for the man. I don't even want to know what they probably have been through or did to that boy. So it's crazy. Did you guys hear also, just on another note, we can get back to the Diddy in a second, but did you guys hear that Nelly's, the St. Lunatics crew, his old crew, they're suing him for $50 million. What's up with that? Like, what's really good with that? Like, are you guys friends? So, you mean at the end of the day, it's going to end up with friends suing friends? And why all of these years you guys haven't settled your differences? As grown men, you do not, as a grown man, as a grown woman, you do not want to try to settle your differences the older you get. You want to try to handle that in your younger years, because the more you grow out of that. You start to forget why you don't mess with that person, and you just stay on the fact that you don't mess with that person. See, the older you get, the more peace you want in your life. You don't want more people that you have to worry about and watch your back about, or want stealing from you. So I don't know what that $50 million thing is about, but I mean, I would think at up to this point that they, as a group coming up together, that they would have settled their differences. But $50 million, yo, that's more than even the Dame Dash owe. Who the hell is gonna go in their back pocket and give $50 million like they got 50 million to give up? Come on now. I don't think that's. I mean, take if you're suing Nelly for $50 million, that means I don't know how. You know what? I don't know how much money Nelly has. I don't really know how much money any of these people have. But let's just say $50 million from taking $50 million from anybody is gonna hurt their pocket. I don't care. I don't. It doesn't matter. Taking $50 million says that I don't care if you rot tomorrow. I want my money, and if that's the last bit of money you have. So we could just tell that Nelly and his crew that he came up with, they're not rocking anymore. And it's fine, because I don't know you guys' differences. Nelly has a family, a new family that he's raising with Ashanti, so I know the connection is not going to be there as much as it would be back in the day, but at the same point, damn, $50 million? You going to do it like that? That's where we at? They don't have food. It's true, it's true, it's true. Oh my goodness. Budsville, send me some bud, man. I need some bud this morning, man. What's oh I don't think I can say it on here, but it's called Sweet Pea. The last thing I was um oh, you know what though I wanted to talk to you guys about? It's a good thing it's a good thing so remember when I told you guys, if you guys have been watching I was telling you guys on the last one, there's a difference between state prison and federal prison. And I explained to you guys that in federal prison, where they're like, say you the R word to somebody, right? In federal prison, you don't have to do the crime in the state that you're in. They can move you around to any of one of their federal prisons. But with state prison, whatever place that person you did the crime to, you have to do the time in that state. And that's the law. And that's the difference between them. So now I'm hearing, I want you guys to check this out. I'm hearing that I think they moved Diddy to Virginia. Or they're moving him to Virginia or something like that. And that's what I've been telling you. He can get moved all around the world with this whole federal thing, you guys. That's one of the reasons why they was trying to get him out. But the reason why they're not going to let him bond out, or unless he comes up with some trick behind the scenes, is because he's been threatening his witnesses. He's been threatening people. Once you are a person like, say, like a mob boss or something, and they know that when you go out there, you can put some hands together and get things moving and get people hurt, they're going to try to keep you cornered. They're going to try to lock you in and trap you in. This is how it goes. This people, you know what? Hip hop has been on a checkerboard, and the world has been on a chessboard. And that's the reason why sometimes you can lose your sense of thought, thinking that the way you conduct yourself in hip hop, the way things are going in hip hop, is not the same way life is outside of hip hop. I've just seen, shouts out to Method Man, because I love Method Man from Wu-Tang. He's one of the guys where I understand how he feels. Some reason I connect with Meth. I like Method Man. He's one of my favorite Wu-Tang members. I just seen on TMZ they had asked him a question about, the whole Diddy and hip hop, and he said, that Diddy situation is not part of the hip hop culture. And I kind of understand what he was saying, because when it becomes that criminal, when you start including the R and stuff, you don't want to hold that over hip hop's head. And even though Diddy's a big figure in hip hop, I know Meth is just trying to save the culture. He doesn't want to hear like things like hip hop is dying and things like that. So give the man a break and stop misunderstanding what he's trying to say. What I thought Method Man was trying to say is that this Diddy situation, the things that people are highlighting, the hurt that he did to people, is not something that's just hip hop. But being and on the other side of it, I just want to say to that is, the reason why people say hip hop Meth is because it's Diddy and people. It's almost like Jekyll and Hyde the way he did it. It's like a magic trick. It was just like poof. This is really how I am, and people are surprised by that. And people haven't really got over the points where you see him kicking down Cassie and you see him changing into somebody you never thought he would be. So you have to kind of give us a break. It's a 50-50 here. It's like, Neff, you're right, but we're right too, you know? And it is part of hip hop to a lot of us because of how we don't see Diddy outside of hip hop, you know? Outside of hip hop, Diddy has Ciroc, he has his Revolt company, he has different things outside of that. But inside of hip hop, that's where you find Cassie and the people that he harmed and the bad contracts and the things that he did to people. This is how he built his name behind the scenes. For us fans looking, all we saw was the hits. But now with social media, it highlights more than just your music. It highlights you as a person. It highlights the things you do outside of your music. And that's when things can get tricky. If you're just claiming to be a good person when the camera's cut on, then when people see you outside of that, it's always going to be a shocker. Like, picture the person that you see on screen, your favorite rapper, he's the nicest person, but then when you see him in the street to ask for an autograph, he just slaps you. Like, get away from here, you peasant. It would hurt you to feel that way. So this is the disconnect that fans and artists have. It's like some artists look down on their fans and they talk about the same people that's supporting them because they don't really know who's supporting them because they don't keep that analog of who their fans are. They're just collecting the money. The ones who really concentrate on their fans and do these direct to direct, have these conversations, are the ones that know that they can't, it's a certain responsibility that you have for your fans, that you just can't spill out anything. You can't just go online and just say anything because you could offend anybody. And who's to say who's going to take that personal? The best thing you can say, nobody's supposed to take stuff personal, but you can't tell people how to feel. You can't tell. As humans, you can't tell people how to feel. Somebody could cry over a butterfly flying in the air, whereas the next person can see that butterfly and it can strike a memory, and they can run off and be scared or do something that just reminds them of that certain point in time. People are people. We all do and have things that's similar, but the way we react to it is different. It's like, people had I seen it when Diddy was beating Cassie and he was kicking her. Some people said, "Oh well, I know people that went through that." Well, maybe you did know people that went through that, but not every female's the same. Not every female can go through that. Some females didn't come up like that. So you just taking a guess that she can just take it. It's beyond. It's not being fair. It's just not being fair. As a human being, you have to be more smart about the things you do. What we're about to see is he might, out of everybody ever that lived in hip hop, he might be the one that gets the most time out of everybody that got arrested in hip hop. Out of everybody, the biggest person got the most time. And you want to know why? He didn't hold up to his responsibility. To us, he was P. Diddy. But behind the scenes, he was a demon. So that transition, we don't know. And let me tell you, this is one thing you got to love about Gen Z. You can only fool them one time. One time. You got one time to fool Gen Z. You got one good time. And you fool Gen Z one time and they realize that you fooled them. You will never be able to fool them again. They'll either be marching outside of your establishment or pulling the clothes out of your, because that is the way, the temperature and the energy. When you fool somebody and deceive somebody and trick them, it makes them say, wow, that's you. Oh, that's you. So you have to be mindful of this. Don't let people just tell you what's right and wrong. In your heart, if you feel like it's wrong and he did something wrong to somebody and you feel like he's guilty, when it's time for them to hit that in the judge and tell him his numbers, just close your eyes if it's going to affect you. Because this is something that has to happen for people to learn this lesson that it's not right. If it was something small that happened to him, nobody would care and they would go on and girls be getting abused and taken advantage of in hip hop and things will be going on behind the scene and they'll be treating them like they're nobody and then you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't. You can't. Girl, like, especially with the girls, they have been treated unfair in hip hop from day one. From day one. But they kept up with it and kept that strong texture to them to try to get them find themselves in a place that was male dominated. Why can't you respect and honor that? You honor everything else. Hip hop has gave more flowers away to people. Why can't you start taking some of those flowers back from these people that fool people? Do the right thing, like Spike Lee said. Don't just say that don't just dress and take all the fashion out of it and try to make it your own. No, actually take the message out of it. Stop just taking the look out of it. Stop trying to look like you're righteous. Stop trying to just look like you're smart and start trying to be that way instead of trying to fool people. Because the same tricks that they trick you with your contracts, don't use those same tricks to trick your own fans. It's not right. You become the devil that tricked you. You see the difference? When you hurt somebody that's a good person, the only thing that changes their outlook on you. They fix what they have to fix on their own, that you damaged them. And once that is fixed, you're the only person that's going to be left broken. That's how it works. You don't have to run out there and do the same thing back to them, because then you become that person. That becomes your way of revenge. Revenge eats people alive. You have to know how to use it. Know how to use your energy to protect yourself. Energy can protect you. That's what it's all about. And your energy, how you value and build your energy is from this. Knowing that what you think can come true. And whatever you can, if you can, that's a sense, like we have senses, like, like we can see, smell. Those are our senses. We can have a higher sense. It's just like you're sitting with a dog right next to you watching TV, and all of a sudden your dog get up and run to the back. And there's somebody back there trying to break into your window. It's his sense. That's a feeling. That's something God gave us all. Everybody that breathes life has it. But people don't pay attention to the things that they don't understand. So you have to open your eyes and your mind up to know that I do have superpowers. I have to work on it. First, I have to hone in on it. And then I have to work on it so it can be more powerful and I can use it to my advantage. See, the sad thing about social media, what it does is it puts everybody in this, like we're all in the same club. Like we all want to hear the same song at the same time. And it's not true. Some people listen to relaxing music. Some people listen to music that's mid, that just gets them going. And then there's some people that like to listen to music that just pushes them to do things. And those are different energies that we all have within us. But people operate on different energies day by day by day. Energy changes, and your strength within the energy, the ones that you hone in on every day, those are the ones that get better. Now, we do have parts of us that there's bad energy. It's that when you get mad and you feel like you want to do something, but in your heart you don't want to, you're not going to, ruin your life for it. That's the energy that you have to control. That's the energy that you have to put into your creation energy. That's the energy where when you see something like that, you're so ready to create on whatever you're doing. And it upgrades whatever you're doing, and it makes you a better person and a smarter person. That's what we're here for. We're not here for just doing the bare minimum. We're here to do extraordinary things. And our time is being taken from these people that don't care about us, from the jobs that pay us not enough to enjoy our life, from the people that's around us that's trying to drain our energy because they don't understand us. What about the people on social media that belittle you, knowing that they came from the same places? How could you understand struggle if you laugh at the people? You say you went through struggle, and you're going to turn around now when you make it to the place and you laugh at the people going through the struggle that you once went through. And I say to myself, you didn't even have people laughing when you was trying to get through it. So you're giving them a harder route to go through this struggle because you are becoming their wall. Now you're the wall to their struggle. And guess what happens to that wall? Eventually it gets broken down, or people climb over it, go around it, or don't even go near it. That's the reason why hip hop is in a place where we can't see anything else but the fighting back and forth bickering, because it's the energy that was built up. This story was written. It was written. If we can't stick together and we can't come together, anybody can be paid off to do anything as a promotion, because guess what they're going to say? Guess what they're going to say? I did it for my family. What did you do for your family? Did you hurt other people for your family to carry on that karma onto your family? Did you let your family know what you did to do that? I'm pretty sure your family would have said, don't do that. That's going to be karma on us. So be mindful of what these people are saying, and know that everything that people say is not always the truth. It's not always the truth. People will tell you, you will learn a lot about people when they hurt. Trust me. When people are happy, ha, kiki, kiing, they want to stay in that state. So anything that comes around it is not going to give you their authentic self. When you're reminded of why you made it to these points and the struggles you're going through and how you got to get over this and plan to get out of this and pay this off, that's when you find that sense of understanding. That's where you find it at. You never find yourself in a place where everything is just going on and the music's loud. No, you find yourself in a place of peace when you can hear everything around you, and you can hear the birds and you can even hear the flowers in the air. Don't you know air has a sound to it? You can hear all of that when you're in the mind, and when your mind is at peace. People don't get that though, because they have so much things around them. They don't have that. Everything is just, it's like New York City. New York City in Manhattan, everything is like this. There is no, you can't really be that social. And it comes from 9 to 5 hours. You can't, it's maybe lunchtime. And even then, it's just like I have to hurry up and get my stuff to get. It's all like a cycle. Break yourself out of all of this stuff. Break yourself out of that nonsense. Did y'all hear about rapper Lil Reese? You know, how many chances is Lil Reese gonna get? You mean to tell me you're gonna put your hands on a female again? It's not, it's just, he has like a mini Diddy situation. Remember Lil Reese when we seen him on camera beating up that girl? On camera. And people looked at that and said, you know what? I know what they said. They said, well, they're from Chicago. It's rough out there. This is probably what they're doing. No, this is not what they're doing. See, these are the type of things that has to be stopped from the beginning and let them know that's not how to do it. That's not what we do. We don't do that. And now he finds himself now with an R charge. So, you know, I used to, you know, it's sad that he couldn't take, people only enjoy the fun. When it comes to the hard work, like understanding that you have to change your life and be a better person, that's the hard work. They don't want to go through that. You ain't see Lil Reese. Don't you pay attention to Chief Keef and realize that he changed himself for a better person? You don't see Chief Keef sliding and gliding. You don't see that. Because he knew to get out of that circumstance, he had to also change his mind. But Lil Reese seems like he's always finding himself with problems with the ladies because you don't respect them, Lil Reese. You have that demon sense about yourself. Because you got hurt so many times, every time you come in contact with a female is when you're either telling them what to do, belittling them, or doing something that make you say, you know what, you're going to use force on them. And now she puts you up against the R charge, and look at how you look. How do you expect people to believe your story now, or a jury to believe your story now, after you have a whole trail of this same type of nonsense? Like, you're not excluded because Diddy's up here and you're here. Lil Reese, you should, as a man, you should do better for yourself. Because we see what's going on with Diddy. This type of stuff will throw you behind bars for the rest of your life. And you out here doing that? Don't you know in these times they have cameras? And if you feel like they doing you wrong, you have to prove your point and don't ever go around these type of people again. People with money bump into lawsuits for all of a sudden. It just happens like that. So you have to be more careful about yourself and get yourself out of these circumstances where you have to force somebody, if allegedly. Because I'm hearing the police is looking for him. I don't know if he's hiding, but that doesn't seem like it doesn't sound like a person that's not guilty. You know what I mean? It doesn't sound like that. It's like, you know what it is though? Buzzville, it's kind of like when you give people a little bit of power, you know, like how you give somebody an inch and they take a whole yard. You know, it's like people, when the first little bit of power a rapper gets, it's that freedom to say, you know what, I'm not gonna live like this anymore. I have more options, more choices, and I have a chance to be something for my family and from the people around me. And they take that same power, they go to the club, and that nightlife just sticks with them for the rest of their life. That dark, not really caring about who's around and just having fun and everything's on feeling. Look, listen, life is more than just money. Like I always tell you guys. We see that Diddy had $1 billion yesterday and he have a zero today. This is how life works. Because all of that stuff is just to keep you going. It's just to keep you coming out to the party, man. You got to come tomorrow to the party to show me how much you got. How much more do you have, you know? You got to come down to the party. It's the day you don't go to the party, they can't judge you no more. They don't know what you have. The time you put in to build, all of the time you put in to change your life, to change who you are as a person, so you can have better understanding, they don't know the time to put in that work. All they can do is catch phrases. So now they got to peek over to see what's going on because they don't understand it. They don't really believe that they can make things change for themselves. They just see people around them changing themselves. And they're mad at that. They get jealous of that. They get jealous of people like us, y'all, because we trying to find something new. We're trying to not end up in these predicaments like those people. It's not really about, you know, some people could listen to music, any type of music, and it doesn't give them the sense to go out there and do anything out of what they normally do. But then there's some people that when they listen to music, they can't even drive a car. You know those types? They can't even drive a car. If the music is going, they're like this, and then it's like an accident coming. It's because they can't concentrate. They don't have that cutoff. Their mind is racing as fast as the music. And they just can't, you know, like you can't walk and chew gum type of thing. It's like everybody has a different way of intake. And that's what happens when people, they just caught up, they don't have a sense of themselves. And that's the first thing. If you could lose yourself in not knowing what's next. If you don't plan your life and have like a little slight blueprint about your life, you don't know what's next to come for you. You're just as curious as Diddy. This man had everything, all the money in the world. He had houses with yards, with backyards in the backyard and houses in the backyard. He had so many things. But that addiction that he had, it makes me think his addiction wasn't just about winning. He wanted to take over anything and everybody around him. He wanted everybody to look up to him. And when he seen that the game was going past him, because people, you know, it's one thing to be a hip hop celebrity and to be a celebrity and people praising you for the things you do, the great things you do. That's a good thing, man. But when you take that in yourself and you start like overdoing it and start pushing your power onto regular people and just using their hope and just taking advantage of people, God don't like ugly. He sure don't like ugly, man. So what we're seeing now is a person that's been doing it for all these years, and he waited all the way till he got up to the $1 billion and said, you know what, we're going to take him all the way back down. And don't get mad. I see a lot of dudes, they're trying to like, you know, I see here and there, you can always tell the people with these similar charges in the past or people that more, you know, they have something against the females. And, you know, that reminds me. Hold on, let's take a little quick, I got to send healing energy. Excuse me for not even bringing this when I started the live. My goodness. Healing energy to that 13-year-old boy in the Bronx who had got he got R'd by some stranger when he was going to put out the garbage. So now you got men taking from men. It's ridiculous. The Bronx really, and this is nothing new. Let me just tell you guys, I have family all around New York, and I don't need the conversation. I know what the conversation is. No matter how people tell you, the Bronx, the crime is up, that stuff has been happening out there. It's a problem. People are misguided. And just because I want the youth to know out there, I want the people to know out there, just because you might not, social media will give you the biggest picture of how people come up and they got a whole bunch of money. It's not really about that. For all my peoples that's like in the Bronx and in these areas where you might not have as much as when you turn on your social media, you might not have as much as you see. Always think this. It's like you're going to have a lot of bad people around you. But why add yourself to that bunch? You stand out in your own way by doing things your own way, and you try to find different mentors and different people online that can relate to you. Because the things that those people are killing themselves for and taking from people and hurting people, in the real world, those things are lower value. What they really want to do is get that Rolex and come back to the hood and show everybody, look, I got a Rolex, because they know not a lot of people have that in that area. But in the real world where everything is just, it's moving on a different pace, it'll just be a watch. The things that they worship is because they didn't have it coming up, or they didn't have a chance to experience these things. And social media is this big mall, shopping mall, and it influences the ones that don't have or never seen before. And it's understandable, but I want you guys to know that it's a little hit of dopamine, just a little hit, because you month, 2 months ago, and this is me personally, and you'll look at that watch like it's a regular watch. You would not get that same feeling of that want that you wanted it, you know? And I see that a lot with the youth, that they're trying to, it's an image that they're fighting for, but when they get to that image, they get stuck in that image. And then from there on, it's like it's either they're going into a world of scamming because they want to keep up that big amount of money. But what I'm trying to tell you is, if you can build something and make some money off of it, you would never have to go through those routes of having to go to jail, having to watch your back, having to keep a gun on you, and worrying about if you're gonna die tomorrow. Yes, things in the outside in the world is just not safe, but at least the percentage, you're taking some of the percentage down, and the chances you're having of losing your life. And that's what it's really about. You know, never go out there and try to just like hurt it just because somebody has more than you. Try to go out there and understand how they got it, why they got it, and what they're doing with it. Because if somebody tells you, like, you're like, how'd you get that $50,000? Oh, I killed somebody for it. Would you want to go out there and do that? Would it be worth it to you at that point? So you want to figure out, oh, well, I do real estate, I do gaming, I sell clothes. That's when you form the conversation. Okay, maybe, you know, because you have, in these times, 2025, find something that fulfills your soul. Find something that makes you feel so good that you don't have to worry about anything outside going on. People have to knock on your door for you to take your focus off of whatever you're building. And then within that, you'll find that there's something beautiful that always comes out of that. Always. You know, there's a lot of people, I'm pretty sure, including myself, when we was younger, you know, looking at the Bad Boy records, and you're like, you know, one day I see Biggie Smalls. It's just the music, the lights, the cameras. You feel like that's the place to be. But then when you look and the years go by and you see like half of the people that was on the label are dead, and it's all due to like crime and people hurting people and drug abuse and things like that, you start to realize, God, thank you. You saved me. I didn't have my eyes open. I couldn't see it clear. I thought that this was the place where you can express yourself with these words. I didn't know I can take my words on a different platform and then use it in a different format, and people would attach to me in a more stronger and in a more positive way. Because it's gonna come a time people are gonna start realizing all the death they speak about in their music is starting to trickle down onto them. People don't want to hear death all the time. People want to have a good time, and they want to have a good time for a long time. So death is going to bring that short term, it's going to give you a good time, but that short energy is going to be so much that it doesn't last. Take the death out of the music, add love, and you'll see how the game starts restructuring itself to the times that we're living in now. The people that just wanted it for money, they're gone. That people that really loved it, that would have did it even if they never got paid for it, those are the real artists that's supposed to be here. I guarantee you, once more jobs and the youth see that there's other things to do besides just rapping and basketball or in sports, and there's more opportunities open as AI and different things are coming into fruition, I feel like there's going to be less people wanting to be rappers. I feel like the only reason why people want to be rappers at this point in certain time is just for the fast money. I feel like there's been good people that just said, you know what, I'm gonna just do this for this, and then when I get this, I'm gonna do this. But when they got to this point, they just got caught up in this point, and they never got to make it to here, because just to get to this point, they had to do so many things that they didn't see, that they didn't want to do, and that's where they end up. You know, the game is the game, man. The game is the game. It could be changed, but the only way it can change is if people understand what's wrong with it and start restructuring it. If you're only going to think about money, you might as well forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. 1 week, you're championing Drake. The next week, you're burying him. The next week, you're championing Kendrick. The next week, you're burying him. You can't do that. You see what we're doing? Our energy in hip hop is off. You have just everybody going at everybody just to get their headlines shown to the world. And the world is not really even paying attention or really even care like that until somebody draw blood or somebody get hurt. Where are we going with it? Where are we going with it? We have to it's a lot of things that needs to be done before we can even say, yo, we're gonna come together. That's why when Method Man said, you know, with the Diddy, I understand his frustration, you know, waking up hearing the same thing every day, and he probably knew the man too, and probably didn't even know that he was like that. So when he hears all of this, I can understand. I understand Method Man. I understand him. He could say F you and I will understand, like, okay, cool. Because I don't have this type of attachment like how y'all, a lot of people do like that. I'm a grown man. Like, it is kind of, that is what it is, energy with me. But for me to be like, when tension builds, you handle your business, you know? Like, when tension builds, you just handle your business. You just got to do what you got to do. But when you putting out good to the people, I feel like people should grab that and use it in whatever they're doing. Because we need a lot of that now, man. We see a lot of people, they're just throwing their life away, throwing their jobs away. You know how many times and shouts out to my chat. I ain't gonna drop that. I'm gonna work on that video for you guys. African Americans versus Caribbean. I'm gonna work on that this weekend, so I didn't forget you guys on that. I'm gonna work on that. You know, it takes a lot with the editing and things, but I like to bring it to you guys as a full package so you can have both sides. I never just leave it one side. I don't care. I always put both sides, you know, give both point, you know, there's always a balance in between how people think the way they think. And I like to always bring that to the people. If I feel like I didn't capture that, then I'm not gonna put it up until I capture it. So yeah, man, and another thing, did you guys hear? I don't know if this is real or not, because in my head I said, this can't be real. Just listen to me 1 second. Okay, the rapper Ralo, he was called out for acting weird at Rich Homie Quan's funeral. Now, when I heard that, I'm like, what do you mean acting weird at a funeral? There's only really 1 or 2 ways to act at a funeral. It's sad, it's tears, and I don't know what else. But if you're going to somebody's funeral and you're trying to disrupt it, well, my God, the karma that's going to hit you with that, you might as well hop in that coffin with them. You should know better if you was going in there. And if you came in somebody else's funeral with a bad spirit, I don't know. You gotta be, you have to have your faith. Like, I'm not, and it's no disrespect to him, but, because I don't even know, this could be just somebody put this together. But if that's what it was, that you came to someone's funeral and you just disrupted it, or had people in there feeling a certain type of way, no pun intended, I mean, what type of person are you? Because a righteous man don't make these type of mistakes, don't make these kind of moves. You know, that's, if they laying that man to rest, or you had some problems with him in the past, which I don't know, You wouldn't go to that man's funeral and try to disrupt him, would you, with his family there? I don't know, man. It just sounded funny, you know. And so rest in peace to Rich Homie Quan. I mean, that was, I would consider, would be a real artist. Somebody that put their music down and touched so many people because it had message in it. Some type of way was crazy. It related how it was talking about energy. Did y'all even realize that with Rich Homie Quan, that some type of way was talking about energy? It's like how you can pick up on some kind of, like, you feel some type of way because I'm here and doing this, or I feel some type of way because you're that. That's energy he's talking about. That's energy. A lot of these guys, you know, they don't realize how serious the music and the words could be. And that's the problem with hip hop. You know, the seriousness, they throw their main focus on just making the money, but the main focus is on making that timeless and that priceless song, that the timeless song that can live forever. That's what it's really about. You keep on chinking away until you get sharpened up until you go all the way to the top. But it seems like the quick money, the instant gratification, they're cool with that. There's not really a lot of record labels that really care. It's not really a lot of record labels that really care. You know, nowadays it's like people are just chasing whatever's going on, like in entertainment, instead of saying, you know, like have something in the back of your mind that you was thinking about and you just bring it to the people. People are more chasing like what's going on today, and I get it. But at the end of the day, it's like you still got to give the people something from you instead of just giving them just the topics. Give them something that they can hold and they can take with them and feel some kind of way that, you know, you drop something when you was speaking to them. Have that conversation. Have a real conversation. What I'm saying, instead of just having this artificial. Oh, what's going on today? Oh, Diddy, they got him in jail. What is he eating for lunch? It's like we could do better than that. We can do better than that. We can do better than that. There's so much more to our culture than just fighting the back and forth. There's so much more. There's so much more. I'm so surprised that people haven't found a new type of structure of DJing and just putting, you know, you can, I feel like the youth have to find a way to bring DJing back. And just because platforms have changed doesn't mean the skill of a DJ, or you can open up a DJ website and try to, I don't know, you know, with the rights of the music and just spinning other people's music, it will probably go. But these are the things that you have to work out, you know. Try to find some producers and not getting that, like, it's a lot of things that can be, you know, that like, just because they add an AI is not just to make a, you know, put two heads on a person or change a picture around or give a girl four titties. AI, you can use it in your benefit to build something new and something that's not out there. Stop taking it and remixing. The people who remix stuff, they don't have the level of education or mindset to build stuff that's not there. I'm not with the remixing all the time. That it's just so like done before stuff. I hate to hear it. I hate to do it. You know, it's just like try to do something that's not done before. You know, try to deliver a message that nobody ever sent before, and then it'll sharpen your skills, and sharpen your mind. You know, I think that's what life's about. That's what right now for me. The reason why I'm here talking on this live and I wasn't speaking before is because it's a different type of energy that we're bringing to YouTube when we bring up these conversations that people weren't normally having, because of, you can tell, because you know, the negativity is always going to travel and have the most numbers. But the more the positivity start coming in, it'll hopefully balance out. And even if it doesn't, there'll still be a group of people that find this comforting. So I'm just sticking to my mission and continuing my journey and bringing you guys along with me. That's what it's all about, Chat Tribe. That's what it's all about. I'm not here for anything else, but I do appreciate you guys. I'm going to have some new stuff coming as far as videos, but I'm working on that video because they don't play about me. They don't play about me, y'all. So I'll make sure I'm going to have that video for you guys, and it'll probably be up for Monday. Be up for Monday. Sip a little bit of lemonade, cool in the shade. Like people, It's like even people will follow people's relationships because they know the relationship is toxic. I ain't following that. If your relationship is toxic, I don't want to know what's going on. I already know what's going to go on. Toxic relationships don't end well. They don't ever end like, oh, we was once a toxic relationship and now we're on top of the world together. No, it never ends like that, because to have two people get their mind out of that toxicity is almost a feat. It's hard getting yourself out of that stuff, and then you want two people to do it. So when one person gets to that point before the other person gonna fall way back, and you got to go back there and get them. Now you a part of it. You don't want to keep going. You just want to work on yourself. And then when people see that you're working on yourself, you start building value. And people are like, damn, that person loving themselves. I want some of that. Cause I'm around people that they don't even loving themselves, and it's starting to rub off on me. No, I want to go around the people that's loving on themselves, like really trying to get to the bag, but at the same time getting their mind sharper. Like, yo, what's the new book you read, or what's the last thing that you was watching on TV that really changed your mind on certain, like, that's the crowd. That's where you find your soulmate. That's where you find your matching energy, and that's how you really find yourself. When you're around people that's just thinking the world is just such an ugly place, oh my God. Could you imagine where that can take you? Nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. And quick second, don't y'all love when this is me personally, I loved when the iPhone was like this. Look, remember the iPhone was like this? Remember the little small iPhone? Y'all don't remember this, right? I keep everything. Look, hold on, let me wipe it down. I got water on it. Remember the little iPhone? Now it's like this. Come on. That's not making it better. I like the little, that's just me. Will I change? Most likely no. But I move with the times, and I make it work. But at the end of the day, I thought iPhone was the best when it was just a little. That's it. That's it. It's crazy, you guys. It's crazy. Crazy stuff, man. Love you guys, and I'm gonna get back with you. If this Diddy anything, I'm definitely gonna keep y'all. I know y'all, come on now. I know y'all want the juice. So I'm always gonna keep y'all. So if something does happen, then I'll come in with the breaking news. But besides that, I'll be working on some videos for you guys. Make sure you support the brand. I love you guys. And you can talk to me. Like, if you have any questions about any sizing or any hoodie sizes, you want to oversize, you want a crop hoodie, I have a lot of unisex pieces. I'm just into the unisex wear because I feel like the clothes don't dress you. You dress you. So you know how you feel when you put it on. So that's the reason why, and I don't like to leave anybody out. I also have some stuff in there for the kids. Not a lot of pieces for the kids. It's hard to get my hands on designs and different things that I can get. Like, just because a design looks good for an adult doesn't mean it necessarily looks good on a kid. And yeah, so you guys can check out my site. I have a lot of new stuff up there. I'll be having a lot of new pieces coming. I'm actually waiting on the package right now so I can show you guys. But yeah, man, thank you for showing up for me, and I'm gonna always be there to show up for you guys, man. That's what it's all about. Really take in mind, and I have a little clip in there where Usher is talking about Diddy back in the day on that. You gotta go check out my new video, man. It's really good. It has I always throw little nibbits and stuff in there, but like, oh, I never seen that before. So go check it out. I got a couple surprises, and I'm gonna get back up with you. Maybe on the weekend, I might pop up. I don't know. All right. Love you guys, and stay true, man. Enjoy this weekend, and I want to see you come Monday, man. Don't go with no place where there's bad energy, where somebody gonna shoot a stray bullet, God forbid, I want to see you Monday, all right? For all my peoples out there, love y'all, all right? I get up.